Hello and welcome back to the O3 Dropcast, the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. I am Poopy, aka Craig. I suppose Craig, aka Poopy, because legally I am Craig. And I'm here with my two lovely co-hosts, Chris, aka Smithle. Hello, Chris.
Hey, legally named Craig. How are you?
I'm doing sleepy, and I'm also joined by Bryce.
I'm Googling the paperwork to have your name legally changed right now.
I don't want it to be Poopy.
How to name change in Pennsylvania.
I don't want to be Poopy. I'm not.
You dug that grave.
I feel like I'm bringing an energy that makes it sound like I'm poopy, but I'm actually fantastic right now.
Yeah.
I had a really good weekend, and the exhaustion I'm experiencing now is simply a product of returning to work after such a fun weekend, because we all attended Camp Greentree,
Yeah.
It was a fun time.
the
Really fun time.
first ever Flesh and Blood summer camp. Not only that, as far as we know, the first ever trading card game summer camp. So
Possibly.
it was in Port Matilda, PA, hosted, of course, by Greentree Sports Cards, and we were proud to partner with them. And obviously, there were many camp themed activities that hopefully people have heard about a little. So just to go over sort of what went on in the weekend, do you guys have like a favorite moment you want to share to start off with? Do you want to set the scene a little for people? How should we get into this?
Yeah, I think setting the scene's kind of not bad because I mean, we talked about camp, and I know when we were kind of putting up pictures, it I don't feel like it did the place justice.
No, not
I
at
mean,
all.
it was a very, very cool location. I mean, you kind of pulled in. There was the cabanas that people rented out. On one side there was a a relatively fair sized like hall on the other. The individual that owned it kind of like lived on property, kind of right in the middle.
Bart.
But then yeah,
Bart
Bart
was a good dude.
the two puppies.
Yeah,
the two
shout out
dogs.
to Bart and his two dogs, Letty and Odie.
I
No,
don't know.
not
Odie,
Odie.
Bodie.
Bodie,
No, B starts Bodie.
Bodie. Bodie
Yes.
was a big, like, mastiff, like just beautiful dog, but was a little socially anxious. And Letty was just the most lovey dog. We had a camp dog. It was wonderful.
It was awesome. It was awesome. But
That might have been the first time we've been at an armory and just had a dog walking through
Armory
between
dog.
the tables and stuff. Armory
Yeah.
dog.
I love
It was-
Armory dog.
it was cool. They also had like a real nice kind of like creek in the background behind everything. They stocked it with trout. I mean, within 5 minutes of us all being there, the three of us were in the creek just kind of hanging out. There was
We
people.
all got there pretty early.
Did
We were
you
all there
guys
Thursday.
feel your age just getting in
Oh
and
my
out of that creek?
God, yes.
Like
Yeah.
the amount, just that, like having to step down like a foot into water, like that is so difficult.
But also, those rocks are slippy. Them some slippy rocks.
Them
So
some
you
slippy rocks.
do gotta be careful.
I legitimately for a couple seconds considered asking somebody to like hold my hand while I was getting in so I didn't slip and fall. 'Cause- oh.
I mean, I have a friend who is like just like way too reckless with those kind of things. Like,
Mhm.
we'll just like jump in anywhere. And I'm very much the person who, like, if I'm gonna get in the pool, I gotta like put my butt down on the ledge first and like
Yep.
kind of just like
Yep.
fall into it.
Oh, let's go down. No, I mean it was a really, really cool place. I mean, a couple of us got there kind of Thursday,
Yep.
Thursday night.
Thursday night, yeah.
Started to kind of roll in, had s'mores by the bonfire. A lot of people were kind of setting up, I know, like
Open face s'mores
Yeah.
though. They're
Yeah,
open
you-
face.
then like we had like, and then we even had people just kind of like stop by that weren't necessarily staying on site that I believe, or whatever. And like Mara Ferris just kind of came by and was like, Thursday night, hey, let's hang out, let's go, kind of hang out and just have a good time. John kind of got everybody pizza, so the Armory Pizza tradition stayed alive. And we did that. Going into favorite things, I think the whole next day for me was by far my favorite.
Mhm.
So we did all kinds of camp activities. We, first big shout out to the counselors. It was Dex, Diana, no, I'm gonna forget Miss Anna,
Anna, Gary.
Gary, um, Dex, Anna, Gary, Diana. Am I missing one?
I think there were only 4 activities.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
But
But
they
I
were
mean,
awesome. They were so much fun.
they were so much fun.
We did
Yeah, so
these.
We did
Gary
those.
taught everyone how to write in like runic.
Where are they?
There's your pins.
There we go.
Anna made buttons for people. Now my buttons, I got the gust wave line, and I'm going to be sending Anna like 7 more cards.
Yeah.
Because I
And then-
started the gust wave line. I need every piece. Sorry, Anna.
Just like 4 tigers
Um,
all in
Yeah.
I
mean,
part of me almost was like, would you do my Marvel Tigers as buttons? We had someone make a button of a cold foil light of soul. It
yeah, that was great.
so our friend Michael Cho has only ever opened, apparently, according to him, 1 pack of Flesh and Blood. Same.
I find that hard to believe.
Same, to be honest. No, I've opened a little bit more than that. Who's counting? Not me. God, not me. But
You'd be sad if you were counting because
God,
you'd realize
oof.
how many. Yeah.
But Cho is, the legend goes that Cho's ever only opened 1 pack of Flesh and Blood. It was Dusk Till Dawn. He got a cold foil Light of Soul, and the only hero that Cho plays is Bolton. He's played Olympia as well, but he's a Bolton man. And when he realized that it wasn't good in Bolton, he didn't care about it anymore. So to him, the value of a cold foil Light of Soul is not $190, which is what it sells for, but it's a pack of Dusk Till
Is it
Dawn.
really that much? Well,
Mhm.
Yeah, and so his reasoning was it's the value is a pack of Dusk Till Dawn, so like $3. So he was like, "Well, I'll make it a button."
it's a $3
Um,
button. Yeah.
So if that kind of thing upsets you, I understand. It upset me. But that was a great activity. Dex taught us a little bit about cosplay. We had a lot of fun doing that.
Also, I'm gonna humble brag a little bit here, but no matter what happens in my life, nobody can take away that I beat Mara Ferris in a artistic theme challenge. Did I have to pander to the judge and what their interests were?
that's-
Yes, I did, but it does
Yeah,
not
you
matter.
cheated. You
As-
cheated
On the
that.
books, I have beaten
For
Mara
sure you
and
cheated,
Dex, and
as part of our crafting exercise, and I suppose a little bit cosplay as well, though Dex was the one who ran the cosplay event, and Anna ran a crafting event where we made masks, and Chris won with that mask that he just showed off because Cho, who was judging, also plays Yu-Gi-Oh, and so
he primarily plays Yu-Gi-Oh.
yes, very, very good.
Yeah.
he is a Yu-Gi-Oh player, and we forgive him for that. But yeah,
No one's
so
perfect.
Chris pandered his way into prize wall tickets.
Yep.
That
Like,
was
dude-
5 prize wall tickets too.
Let's talk about those too for a little bit, because the prize wall tickets, like, I mean, you go to like SCG Con or something like that, it's like, hey, I got a rainbow foil Bolton is like 50 tickets or something like that, like a weird number.
Dude, I got a cold foil Arachne for 5.
Yeah. John was basically like, hey, tickets
What
like a
did I
pack,
get?
like $3 of value, and
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, I mean, he had like a 10 graded young cold foil dash in the prize wall, a whole bunch of like marvels, cold foils, all kinds of cool stuff, and it was just like, go wild, lots of blazes, all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff.
So, and the way to get tickets was to participate in both camp themed activities and side events, as well as our main tournaments, and we can go into those. I have a lot to say about the side
Sure.
events because I think I had maybe a negative impact.
No,
and I'll just
Chaos Draft went so well.
I loved it.
I had a lot of fun, but basically, I turned side events generally into just side event is chaos sealed. It's just
Yep.
it's just or what shapeshifter sealed. It's just
Shapeshifter.
Yeah.
We're just doing shapeshifter sealed like all weekend because it was so much fun.
Yep.
But so the other events that were run by counselors, Dex did cosplay. At that point, I think I needed like a little nap. I don't know that I he taught how to use molding like clay, molding foam, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Did you
Yep.
guys?
There was some pretty cool ones made. I mean, I sadly did not participate. I had to be setting up kind of tents and things like that at that point, but I did go and check out the work.
Mhm.
It was neat. A lot of people were kind of making
Yeah.
it, painting it. Somebody made it was either Rich or Pat. I can't remember which one of the two, but they made a big like mappy the United States with like a big green arrow pointing or finger pointing up, saying like, "Here's where Camp Greentree is," and things like that.
I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah, it was pretty great. I mean, so there was some kind of fun stuff people put together.
Our friend Conrad made me a poop crown. It looks like a crown of thorns, or it did until the humidity.
But it's poop. Yeah.
The humidity like curled it all up. It got weird, but that was very thoughtful. I didn't love the thought, but it was thoughtful. No, it's very nice. It was nice to receive some sort of recognition, even if it is in the form of shit for your head. But then I think I don't think that Gary, Anna, or Dex would be hard would have hard feelings if I were to say that the best camp event was the LARPing.
That was
Yeah.
like so there were two that I went into going like, I don't know if I'm gonna have fun with this, and it was the runic language and the LARPing.
Oh man.
And both were awesome. Like just watching you, Craig, at one point having like 5 people surrounding you. We're like, "Hey, Craig! Hey, Craig! Hey, Craig!" It was just a blast.
We were hitting each other with swords. People were striking anime poses, and we were letting their inner weebs come out, and just like there is so much fun. We were all just like acting like little kids. It was just like it reminded me of like when I grew up. I used to hang out with my cousins, and we had this big field, and we would just run around in the field with our imagination. And that's exactly what we were doing. And it was so much fun. The most exercise I've gotten in a minute. My God. So it was a really awesome time doing those sort of side activities. And this was Friday while it was still dry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Spoiler for the weekend. A lot of rain. We did have a lot of rain.
Y'all almost flooded down by the creek.
They did indeed flood.
Yeah. It was one of those things you just can't prepare for. Like weather is weather. And so we did have some serious weather, which meant that we were mainly I don't want to use the word confined because I think that sounds wrong, but like we were mainly in the tournament hall, which was a pretty nice area, but it would have been great if we could have spent more time around the fire and all that. But because of that, people were asking me about how it was, and I was like, oh, it was such a fun time. The weather wasn't great, and I knew we were going to be playing a lot of Flesh and Blood, but I don't think anyone expected that we were going to be playing like this much Flesh and Blood.
It was a lot.
It was
a lot.
It was constant. It was just like CC tournament, Blitz tournament, Shapeshifter Sealed. Take a break from Shapeshifter Sealed to play some CC with your friends. Now go back to Shapeshifter Sealed. Like it was so much fun.
People also brought some other board games. Yeah. I mean, I know when we were kind of stuck in the hall, got to sit and play through the Slay the Spire board game, which was a ton of fun. We won. I think there were some rules confusions at the end there that we weren't sure if we were quite doing it right, but we beat the third act, so it counts.
Hey,
Slay the Spire, one of the big hitters this weekend. One of the things that you got a prize ticket if you gave it a try. Neopets. We played a lot of Neopets.
Raise your hand if you beat Cho at Neopets.
I beat Cho at Neopets.
I did not beat Joe at Neopets.
So
Cho didn't tell me the dice were weighted until it was a little late.
Chris, so you bought Neopets.
I did.
Weirdo.
So I have 2 young kids. One is 6 and one is 8. And so I played with Cho, and I'm like, there's a lot of fab dads or fab parents and things like that in the community. as generally speaking, we're kind of an older community in the card game space.
Yeah.
It is a great game for kids. I mean, I got home, I played with my daughter. She picked it up in like 2 seconds. She actually beat me as well. So I mean,
wow, you're really bad at Neopets, aren't you?
I'm really bad at Neopets apparently, but it's one of those games that like I hate that it's the Neopet art because at its core, it is a very fun like board gamey type card game. Nobody would ever be competitive with it because it is a lot of dice rolling, so it's a lot of randomness. But it's one of those things that if you're like, I just want to sit down and play like a board game, card game kind of thing, lots of fun. Yeah. Really, really cool.
You don't like that the art is of like rainbow hot dog?
I mean,
yeah. Where's that hot dog guy?
You mean my rainbow hot dog monkey thing?
Hot dog monkey.
Someone said, and I don't know if it was you.
It was me.
Yeah, you called that me in card form.
Yeah, I said if you were a Neopet, this would be Craig. Just this crazy little monkey just running around with a hot dog.
I'm not gonna act offended. I'm not gonna sit here and try and tell people that me as a Neopet is not a monkey selling hot dogs.
Where do the hot dogs come in, though?
Where do the hot dogs come in?
I mean, look, I like everybody who knows me, my order at Sheets is like hot dogs and mac and cheese, but like why hot dog monkey, Chris? Why is it the spirit of the hot dog that brings up?
It just he has that crazy look in his eyes, and like if anybody was at camp and watched Craig run around and try to get people to play Chaos Draft, like that was the exact same look. He's basically just running around like Arcane, like Rising Pack, his hand like Chaos Draft. You're Chaos Draft, Chaos Draft, Chaos Draft. We can do this, Chaos Draft, Chaos Draft.
Well, I was really excited to get some on-demand events going.
It was,
and
cool.
I had never done a Chaos Draft. I was so excited for it. And here's the thing that you need to know about a Chaos Draft. There's a couple things you need to know. First of all, there's gonna be extra cards. It's gonna look like you screwed up. Like
right, because some of the packs have more draftable cards
14,
than the others.
Some of them have 15. And then you also have to. I would say that like the way that I think Chaos Draft would work best is you pick 3 packs of one set, because we had so much Arcane Rising, and then we would get like heavy hitters. And the thing about heavy hitters is it's completely unplayable with Arcane Rising cards because so many cards specify a class. It says your next Guardian attack action. Your next Warrior attack. Like there's so much of that. We also had one member of our pod
3 packs of bright lights.
Who got 3 packs of bright lights, which I didn't like. It's not. I don't want to be like, oh, it was bad, but like we had a lot of Arcane Rising and a fair amount of bright lights, and not nearly enough cards to play mech. Like Mechanologist,
that's chaos, baby. That's chaos.
Like,
well, even worse than Mechanologist is Ranger. Like you don't realize all the arrows say must be played from arsenal, and you must have a bow. And so like at one point I was playing Anathos Azalea, and I go, I don't want to draft any arrows because I don't want a bow. Like I prefer to have a weapon. And so like towards the end of these packs, you would just see these amazing arrows going by because nobody wants to be an actual true ranger.
But the reason why you get to play lists like that, I'm sure like one viewer at least will be like, Anathos Azalea sounds terrible. No, it's awesome. Her ability just says like sync your arsenal, get a new arsenal. Like fix your arsenal. It like so.
Don't need the bow to do that.
The interaction that we found a lot of people playing was Azuri is super common because Azuri Outsiders is, first of all, people love Outsiders. Love Outsiders. I'll say that we didn't have enough Tails or Monarch to include those.
Sure.
Sometimes we did have Tails, but overall we were kind of short on those. But people love Azuri, and Azuri can get use out of all of the Outsiders cards in this format because as long as you have a stealth card, you can Azuri activate an arrow into play
Mm-hmm.
because you don't have to you don't have to have a bow for that. So Azuri saw a lot of play this weekend. Kadachi Dori is a very common play. Let's see. I know that I played quite a bit of Viserai. I think I played Anathos Viserai at one point. I know I played Nebula Blade. But Anathos,
a lot of Briar too.
Yeah. Whenever those packs were available, you did see a lot of Briar, as a good amount of Oldhim, I think, as well.
I might also be thinking more of the Shapeshifter Sealed.
Yeah,
because that's
I'm sort of lumping them together at this point.
Yeah. I would like to go back and do another Shapeshifter Sealed now that I did one poorly and kind of have a better idea of like what, and that's because that I think a lot of people went from Shapeshifter Sealed into the Chaos Draft, and that's why you saw a lot of the Arcane.
Yeah,
that's so like everybody in Shapeshifter got at least one pack of Arcane.
You kind of have to.
You have to, yeah. Because like, what are the chances that the person's going to have a full set of Null Rune and you're just going to have some completely unpreventable damage?
Yep.
And also, like, just in those formats, like if you just find a card like a Zap, like red Zap in those formats, it's so good. It's crazy.
It's free real estate.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many games that are just closed out with just like, here's 4 arcane damage. You know, I don't think that's Zap. That's the other one. But you know, like Zap is
Scalding Rain.
Yeah, Scalding Rain. You know, just or whatever arcane, you know, damage you were presenting, where it was just like, it was a great closer to games. I'm trying to think of some other heroes that we saw a lot of.
Did anybody, so like, okay, you are allowed to pick whatever packs you want, but there's nothing that says you can't just take like 6 packs of Uprising.
Yeah.
No, did
anybody do that? Like,
yeah, there was a guy, I think, God, I think his name was George or Jeff. I forget. I'm so sorry. There met a lot of people. Long weekend.
Yeah, a lot of new people.
Really nice guy.
Sorry, George or Jeff.
Sorry, George or Jeff, or you know, you'll know who you are. Wink. Nice guy. Played Kano most of the time. I think because I was handing out packs for Shapeshifter. I think on multiple times he was just like 6. Just give me 6 arcane. He just wanted to play Kano. It was great.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Also, I mean, you know, when we sit there and also talk about like kind of like these before we get to the main event kind of thing, Friday night, like we had that big super armor, which was just a ton of fun. I mean, we had a lot of people come in. Also, big shout out to the what is it called? Kung Fu Barbecue. Was that the one?
Barbecue.
Woo-wee! Like first,
a lot of brisket tacos. Yeah.
Super good food. Secondly, the owner was a really cool dude. Nate, so I mean, Nate was Nate. Like, so he basically plays Flesh and Blood. Came on site, you know, brought the food truck, sold food all weekend, and then was playing in the events. Like I paired into him round 1 in the Super Armory, and it just super cool dude, and a lot of fun.
He was a rad dude, and I'm so happy I never had to play against him because every time I saw him, he was playing like Ice Lexi. He played Ice Lexi and Blitz. He played Riptide and like the CC tournament. Love the deck choices, I really do. But as a Katsu man, I was just like, oh, I want to dodge you. Speaking of, this is not related at all, but I want to tell you guys a quick Talishar story. This is my poopy minute. Poopy's minute. This is the part where I put that animated graphic I was supposed to make 6 months ago. So
oh yeah.
So I played on Talishar some Living Legend format, and I have a Katsu Living Legend list that I'm working on, and I played into a Lexi, and my strategy for Lexi was, for the most part, just block out each turn, right? If you know, if they were giving me ice, like if I already have 1 ice, I'm probably like blocking out that, you know, I was playing very defensively. Until a turn where they just start sending like Bolton shots with no ice backed in it. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna eat this, and now I'm gonna crack back. I get a turn after like 7 turns where I don't have any frostbites, and they just sent damage. And I go, Plunder Run, Ancestral Harmony, Surging Strike, and they quit. And I was so angry. It was a Plunder Run from Arsenal, Ancestral Harmony. I had a combo card. I don't know which one it was. It would have been in the Bonds line though, because I think I only really like run the Bonds line. I run the Bonds line and then I run like Flusterfist. So it could have been like in Mugenshi somewhere, but I did hit like a combo card. I was just like, it was like Surging Strike for 8, and all my combo cards get +1, and I'm gonna have an, and he quit. Like the first turn I had any agency.
That's fine. You win. You win that game.
Yeah, I win. But it also was just
it
like,
feels so bad.
it was. You know, I don't want to like shame anyone, but like this is why I hate you, Lexi players.
Shame.
No, you know, there's no.
I thought you were gonna call out the actual like player by name there. I was like, don't do that. Don't do that.
Look, all I'm saying is there's no bad heroes in Flesh and Blood, but if you play Lexi, you're a bad person in Flesh and Blood.
That's fair.
No, that's not true. I just
you heard it here, folks.
And we need Ice back, but I can still hate playing against Ice. It's
fair. Yeah, I mean, and that was like in my head I almost forgot Lexi existed as a thing.
Yeah,
and so like I'm playing Blaze against Nate, and you know, turn 0 I get to go first. I do my Blaze thing. I start getting all these nice op counters. Turn 1 he goes, Channel Lake Frigid. And I'm like, oh great. So now it costs me 1 to activate Blaze. You know, I can't use my, you know, my chest resource to get 1 because now it just neutralizes out. It's 2 for basically my boots if I want to do it. He did that wrong. Like, this feels real bad whenever I just can't Blaze at all. And so he whooped me, and there was like 3 of us on Blaze that I know of, and I kept saying, just avoid Nate. He destroyed me. This stupid Ice Lexi.
You think there's going to be a lot more Ice Lexis in skirmish season just to counter Blaze? Because it seems like a pretty hard counter, right? Like you don't like those frostbites.
Got to be a decent counter for Zen.
Yeah, I mean it is a hero I probably underestimated. I would say very, very strongly it may be well worth looking into Ice Lexi. Yeah, I mean, you figure if you can get a Channel Lake or something like that out early, that's tough for Zen. You know, or at least Craig could probably confirm. I mean, but if you're having to pay 1 extra for all those tigers and all that kind of stuff, you're no longer going 40 long. As long as you can just manage your pitch to keep those channels alive.
I'm gonna create a couple burner accounts, go on your Blitz tier list video, and just give you shit for not including Lexi higher. I mean, to your point though. Yeah, I agree. I think like we kind of forgot about her in like, you know, her place in Blitz as a counter to all the aggro and wizards and stuff like that. But I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah, but so that was Friday night. We did the Super Armory. Good time. Saturday was the main event.
Oh, can I tell you about my first round in the Super Armory real quick?
No. Yeah, good.
I was playing decks.
We're gonna cut this out.
I was playing decks, and it was down to 2-2. Life totals were 2-2. I had a Golden Sun ready to. You know where this is going. I had a Golden Sun pop off, and I was like, "Oh man, you're out of armor," and I got 10 overpower. And yeah, we got reckless swing on. We got the reckless swing.
Yeah.
And it was we both just let out a little like like it was a wildly fun game.
Yeah.
Even though I was just like, oh, of course the reckless swing, of course.
Yeah. That was a fun night.
It was a good night.
Good. I think just like, I mean, it was a Super Armory, right? Like everyone was ready for like
it was
competition
fun. Yeah.
On Saturday, but it was a great way for like people who were arriving, you know, to like get into the camp.
Get some warm up games in. Start talking to some people.
So we each played a different role on Saturday. Chris, you were the judge. A judge. Bryce, you played.
Not on Saturday because I was a little ill the night before.
Okay.
Don't know why.
Okay.
I think it was. So what I said was like, I have absolutely no reason to believe that I got sick from the food. I think the reason was because I only ate brisket tacos. Not because they were bad, not because there was anything wrong with them, because it was literally the only thing I ate on Friday. And that's not a good way to treat your tummy.
Gotta have you gotta have some fruit in the morning.
Yeah, got no fruit, no veggies, just brisket tacos all day on Friday. So
too many tacoitis, man.
Too many tacoitis. That's exactly what it is. I was helping Matt out here and there with some of the like running the feature or having the feature match tables set up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whenever they needed the help, I was doing some of that. But yeah, unfortunately, I had to sit the event out.
Yeah, I did some broadcasting for the first time, some commentary. Super fun.
Everybody said very positive things, Craig.
Everyone said you did you guys, well, not just you, the whole crew. Everyone said the whole crew, John was gushing about how great you guys were doing. It was
you Rhea, Jeffo, all did great.
Me, Ray, and Jeffo. There were definitely some moments where like I was somewhat aware of them at the moment, but I rewatch these kind of things, and I like to be meticulous about like what can I learn, like where did I do something that like what can I be critical of myself of, because if I don't, who will? But there was a moment where Eliza, I believe in the finals, just took like a handful of attacks from the Zen player, and then on their turn attacked with a Herald, and I was like, is that a blue card in their pitch? And Rhea was like, no, because that would be dumb. Like, no, you don't take 18 damage if you don't have go again. And I was like,
of all the people to make a Prism mistake with, it is when Rhea has guessing. No, Greg, I'm pretty confident it's not.
Rhea was really wonderful to work with and very nice, and all that. She certainly wasn't like, no, you idiot, but it was just kind of like, I don't think you would do that if you didn't have yellow. And it was just, there are those little things where it's my first time doing it. God, I really loved doing it. It was so much fun. But it was like those things where I listened to other people talk about casters, and casters being able to, if you have a high level understanding, if you really understand these things, it makes a better caster. And then for me being like, so why does she not attack with the wand? She's got a wall, which I jokingly said during the stream. Don't think I know how Prism's weapon works. But
how much does it cost to bonk the hero on the head with said wand?
Yeah, I was like, at one point I was like, so Rhea, why are we not seeing Prism use her weapon at all? But yeah, no, it was a great time. And like since you guys were on the floor and walking around, you might not have been able to I guess to say my perspective on the event was it was really hype.
It was cool.
It was awesome.
It was really, really neat. I mean, and that's kind of like one of the things I love about judging is kind of you get that feel for the room, you kind of get a feel for everybody and what's going on to it. And as a whole, it was a lot of fun. I mean, first the hero breakdown, like at the end of round one, I go to John. I'm like, okay, what's the hero breakdown? Like two Zens. There was just as many Dorinthia as there were Zen.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, the Zen had a much better conversion rate to top 8.
100%
100% conversion rate. Yeah.
Both Zens make top 8. But it's funny whenever you sit there and you get a chance to kind of see the crowd and see how that really impacts what the breakdown's going to be. So I mean, like we've mentioned a couple times, Mara was there. There was Mara, there was who just released this like massive like novel about Dio, and so we got like I think 6 Dios or 4 Dios.
It's a novel.
There were 4 Dios. There were 2 Dios in the finals, 2 Zens in the finals, 2 Assassins in the finals, 2 Illusionists in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the Dio lists. One was Mara Ferris's. We've kind of seen that at Pro Tour LA, I think was where it debuted. I don't think it was Pro Tour Amsterdam. I think we had already seen it. But we also had Rose, and Rose is I would argue that there are very few players that know Dash and
Yeah,
Mechanologist the way that Rose does. And Rose's
certainly.
list was bonkers. It was bonkers. It was
Hmm.
so like it was something that like in my head it was like yeah it was always like yeah that works, yeah, okay, cool, that works. You would never play it. No, God, never play it. It's very item heavy, and the item that it is built around more than anything else isn't really Boom Grenade, it's penetration script.
Hmm.
And not only that, she runs Master Cog and Steam canisters
Hmm.
and Plasma Mainline. So she's just constantly putting Steam counters back. And it was
Hmm.
like watching someone have double Art of War every turn.
Yep.
It was so crazy.
Yep.
So she top aided. She lost in a match against an Enigma. I'll just tell people, go watch the top 8 of Camp Greentree.
Awesome
Crazy
matches.
games,
Really, really awesome.
especially the finals. It was so wild. Like it I keep saying, I loved casting, but like I can't match the energy I had for watching these games in my own play. Like playing is fun. I love playing. I get excited about my games, but when I have less skin in the game and I
Hmm.
can just like as an outsider observe it,
Hmm.
oh my God, it was so good. It was such an exciting game. Like I was geeked the whole time. We had a Vincent go 3-0 that we had on stream. And it was a blue line Vincent.
Yep.
You know,
Who was playing that?
that was Conrad.
Was it?
Conrad
Okay.
Hmm.
is a
Okay.
local young guy, really smart, talented player. Another really smart, talented player who's pretty young is Noah, and
Hmm.
Noah was on Azuri and
Yep.
played a new and won with like 38
Oh,
life.
yeah.
Ju-
At one point, I walked over to you guys that were casting, and like I think I can't remember if it was you and Jeff or you and Rhea, but whoever wasn't casting, I kind of was like called him over. I was like, "Hey, this match just started. I think the lives are wrong on screen because it was like 9-36 or something like it."
yeah,
They're like, "Oh no, no,
Nope,
that
that's
that's
right.
right," and it blew my mind. I was like, "This just started." I was
it
like,
was
"How did Noah do this?"
crazy. It was so crazy. That
What was
eh,
that other game that was like over in 3 turns?
that was a Zen one.
Okay.
I mean, there was
Zen
Zen one.
Zen do Zen.
Zen. There's a Zen game that like started with double Art of War into Ancestral. It
Yeah.
was just like like crazy Zen
Jesus.
games. But there were just so many. There were so many games that were just nail biters because one of the things that happened in that assassin match where Noah beat a new with 30 plus life remaining at the end was they had just a Nick stuck in their arsenal. We saw
Hmm.
just a Nick stuck in the arsenal a lot. We saw Angelic Wrath get stuck in the arsenal. Like the weekend was so there was like such good play, and then it would just be like you would see someone like be like, okay, I don't really want to arsenal this, but I think it's gonna be
Yep.
okay. And for the next like 4 turns, it was like, can
Hmm.
they survive to get this out of their arsenal? It was
Yep.
so
And so
awesome.
like I've been playing a lot of new and things like that recently, and I have started to value that arsenal slot on assassin much more because I've been in that situation where I've had it just a nick, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna arsenal this, and then I don't get a one drop forever, and then all of a sudden like I'm seeing like these codex of frailties coming by and all, and I'm like, you almost start making really stupid mistakes and like IPing yourself, going, I'm just gonna hold this codex because I'm sure in the next hand I'm gonna get a one drop.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay, I'm gonna hold it. So now you're drawing
I'll
two,
just
maybe three
I'll just
cards.
keep this 2 block in my hand for 3 turns and not
Yeah,
pitch it or use it.
yeah, where it's like it would just be better just to pitch and throw a dagger and get the
So
cards.
much
But
better.
like things like that, when things get stuck and you start making really stupid mistakes and stupid decisions because you're like, this is a value card, I don't want to waste it, and all I need is this one stupid arsenal spot to clear up, and I'm sure I'm going to get it. I know I run like 15-1 attacks or whatever the case may be. So, like you said, I think when you're watching it as a spectator and not in it, you really get an appreciation of how good some of these players are.
Yeah.
Because they can really they can make those plays and understand what's going on much clearer and much calmer than I think many of us can.
Well,
I'm just having flashbacks to heaving thunderquakes and then getting hit with 3 frostbites.
yeah. I for some reason, Thunderquake has been on my mind quite a bit recently, just as like uh because of Zen, and people are people have been talking about, how do you like counters for this, and uh that being a card that you just like set up and then be like, please don't hit me too hard. Like,
Yeah.
please do not just throw like 80 at me so this is stuck here forever. Um but yeah, no, it was awesome. Then we had the Blitz 2K.
Yep.
I was still casting when that started. Did either of you participate in that?
And I was home. It was my son's birthday on Sunday, so
I left a little early on Sunday too.
But I mean, I've heard good things. Oh God, what's his name? Is it? Oh, on Twitter it starts with an S. He won. Oh, it's gonna drive me. I'll find it and I'll put it somewhere in the description or something like that about who won each day at camp. But I mean,
his name. I think his name on Twitter for the CC event winner. His name is Brendan, and the CC event winner was Brendan, and his name is like Space Cowboy or something. Except it's not Space Cowboy.
Space Jockey.
Space Jockey. Space Jockey won the CC event. Against, I think her name is Sparkles or Sprinkles. Which is it?
I think it's Sprinkles. Okay. Is
it's Eliza. I had a chance to meet Eliza, and she was very nice, but I wasn't familiar with her Twitter handle, so it's either Sprinkles or Sparkles. But,
which I think I think that whole group launched they said this is like a hard launch or a soft launch of the team or whatever, because that whole group as a whole performed very well across both events.
Yeah.
So kind of excited to see where they kind of go.
Yeah, they were taking like team pictures. I think they named themselves Team Challengers.
Just something like that, yeah.
After the Zendaya movie.
Like the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
I am not very familiar with, but Zendaya with 2 boyfriends.
2 boys.
No. But yeah, like I know it's like, Zuppy, there's a couple other people.
Natalie,
I'm trying to remember. Natalie's in it. That's Sparkles. But yeah, they all performed very, very well. Like very well.
Kind of bullied us.
A little bit.
Mean.
A little bit.
Kind of mean.
But no, and that's kind of, I think the cool thing about these events is when you see these groups come in, 4 or 5 strong, and you get an idea of like, oh, this is like what Eastern PA's kind of meta is, and this is what the Western PA meta is, and here's West Virginia, and they're coming up, and you kind of get a look at how these regions are built. And I mean, like, sure, you see that kind of stuff at nationals and worlds and things like that. But when you kind of isolate it to kind of like this Northeast, like tri-state area that camp mainly was, it gets really interesting because you're like, we're not that far away, but it is wildly different what we've built and what we've prepared for, and how that pans out. So it's kind of neat to see that.
There's even a good bit of difference just out east, out where Jeff plays.
Certainly.
Yeah, I mean, there's sort of like pockets of Prism metas, pockets of more like Riptide metas. It's really interesting. And we had Mansant show up. He wore a nice Boy Scout like outfit. I don't know.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
I don't know him, so if that's just how he dresses, then he looked cute. I don't know. We
very theme specific.
I mean, it fit the vibe. It fit the camp. That's
I was trying to just say there was a Levia player. That's what I was. Yeah. We had a wide range of heroes coming from a wide range of local metas and communities and stuff.
I laughed at one point. I think Mansant on Twitter posted like, I just got Zen for 47 AMA. You know, during the event.
Oof.
I was cracking up with that. So it was, it was a lot of fun. Like, it was a really cool event. I think, big kudos to John and the Green Tree store for putting it on. I mean, there was, I'm not gonna lie, there was some real concern a couple weeks prior to the event if it was going to be able to go on. I mean, we had, kind of a tragedy hit the store uh a couple weeks prior,
Right.
and and
Right.
and those of us that were kind of planning it were like, are we going to be able to recover enough to make this work? And I mean, John busted his ass to make sure that this went down and was a good time. And really wanted to do it for the community. So I mean, I got to give full credit to John and the Green Tree Group for kind of believing in it, sticking it out. And I can't mention anything or whatever now. Talks have already started about like, well, what's next?
Yeah.
Where do we go from here? So it's a lot of kind of cool things that I think are on the horizon. You'll
Fab
certainly
on the International Space Station.
Yeah, I'm just saying this
Dream
is
big.
most certainly not the last fun, unique Green Tree event that I'm sure we'll see.
It's also not the last anyone's gonna see of Armani Pizza, because I know everyone's asking. Everyone wants to know where's Armani Pizza. It's a new episode. They saw the commercial. They said Armani Pizza's gonna be on there. He comes around, but I made all the commercials for
Mhm.
camp. That was another thing. They didn't air out during the top 8. Um, we kind of had like some technical production stuff that came up where the first day we didn't really have a standby slide prepared, and then for top 8 we had run the commercials into the ground the first day,
Yeah.
so I just want to say to everyone who watched, I didn't know you would see that as much as you did if you stuck around during the breaks.
Oh, it's Armani again. He's staring into my soul.
Seeing Armani in my dreams.
I would be between rounds and I'd be like watching the monitor, and it would be like the 4th time I saw Armani Pizza show up being like, I'm sending you a message from the future. And I was just like, oh my God, people are going to hate me.
My favorite is like Jeff sent us an image of somebody he was texting.
Todd's daughter.
And it just said, my 6-year-old daughter is running around the house saying, "Stay pizza nonstop. Thank you for this."
No one will ever be able to say I didn't have an impact.
Something about the rule of threes in comedy. I don't know, but yeah. After like.
Oh, I think it
probably loses its probably loses its charm a little bit after you've seen it for the 18th time. Yeah.
Oh my God! I think Chris, it might have been you. It might have been Matt who was like, "Oh yeah, I love Armani. He's so annoying. He's like the annoying orange. Everyone hates it." And I was like, "Okay, we're gonna need to maybe not run it in the commercial reel next time." But yeah,
no, that was good. I mean, but I mean, yeah, all in all, good event. I guess the question now is, what's on the horizon? What are we looking for?
Tampa,
Heck yes.
baby! I'm so excited for Tampa.
Oh, it's gonna be so fun.
I keep forgetting it's like 2 weeks away.
It is.
This whole summer is just.
It is dangerously close. Like, I feel like it was just announced, and I was like, I got plenty of time before Tampa, and I just looked. I'm like, oh no, it is 2 weeks from now.
Dude, and I'm even looking at like the cards right now. I've had them up in front of me this whole time, and I'm just like, I'm getting geeked for this. This looks so good.
It is going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I mean, there's pretty much, I'm pretty sure, the entirety of Pittsburgh coming down to Tampa right now.
I do want to. I told myself I wasn't going to do this, but I just want to say, gust wave of the second wind. Guys,
you talking about the WTR card that they found on the floor and was like, oh, whoops.
The WTR rare.
Our bad. We meant to put this in before.
Dude, I did like one of those Sharpie things. You know how the there's that Sharpie trend where they, you erase stuff.
Yeah.
I did
yeah.
that with the banned and restricted announcement where they were like, "Don't worry, we expect Katsu will be able to find ways to dishonor in the Rosetta expansion slot." And I just erased it so it said like, "Katsu will find dishonor in the Rosetta."
I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff. I mean,
that's not one of them.
That's not one of them. Sadly, I mean, watch there'll be some way that somebody finds
Okay.
a broken Katsu deck with it, but
The thing is
it
that like
doesn't look like it.
Katsu has gotten like great generics pretty
Sure.
much every set. Like Tenacity, insane. I forget what exactly came out in this most recent one. Oh, Rowdy Locals is very playable. Like there's some good stuff.
Do you think what?
But in expansion slot, Katsu has always got Wax Off, Ancestral Harmony, which is like a lot harder to be good in Katsu because you don't like transcend off of it. So like you could just whiff, and that can be pretty hard. It is still good, but like then we get this, and it's oh man, I'm starting to feel like Riptide players, but they got a good one.
I was about to say, do you think this will be the set where Riptide doesn't get a specialization? Because I feel Riptide just gets specializations all day, every day.
Riptide
they might be
got
done
a
with
pseudo
it.
specialization with Plan for the Worst, which says look at target hero's hand and arsenal at the beginning of their next end phase. They discard all cards in their hand and destroy all cards in arsenal. Search your deck for up to 3 traps, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle 2 cards from your hand back into your deck. Are you freaking kidding me?
They might as well just call that a Riptide specialization.
That's it's so good. It's so I've like seen people be like, meh, not that good.
It's a great card.
So it's seek and destroy, but you don't need to hit, and it tutors a trap.
Yeah, seems pretty good. Yeah.
I love this card.
Yeah, it's a fun card.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that. I like the Kasai card that we're seeing. That's basically Merciless Battle Axe on a stick. You know, it is gonna, I think, be a really, really fun set. You know, if they don't have a Betsy specialization revealed soon, I'm gonna riot.
What they do have.
Oh, poor Betsy.
Okay, so we don't know about Betsy. I gotta bring it down for this one, guys, fellas.
Okay, all right,
fellas, I'm gonna bring it down for this.
Let's get real. Let's sit in our chairs backwards and let's really break it down.
Let's English teacher this, boys. Splatter Skull. This card.
Bonkers.
So good.
Bonkers.
The Reinhardt card. It's not a Reinhardt spec, but it's a brute 6 power 2 cost. When this hits a hero, choose a face down card in their banished zone that was banished by Intimidate this turn. Put it into their graveyard. That is so cool. Like this is such a good card.
Yep. Brutes were getting scary before. This like I think we're going to be seeing some real scary Reinhardt stuff.
I'm happy about that because I haven't played against a single Reinhardt since before heavy hitters came out.
Yep.
I have not played against a Reinhardt since the Bright Lights meta. Not a single one that wasn't John.
I was gonna say, so you're saying you haven't played John since Bright Lights meta?
John's been busy, man, but still, I have not. Every brute that I've played is either Levia or KO.
Yep.
This is a Reinhardt card.
Yeah,
so
it's different. I mean, you know, we've started to see some more sigils. We've started to see, you know, the expansion slots.
I think that was a given, though, right? Like, I think it was kind of a given we were going to see a bunch more cards with sigil.
Yeah, I mean, we knew we had to. I just wasn't sure when we were going to start getting that kind of stuff. Because I know they kept saying the majority of the cards are going to be revealed as people open them in Tampa. So, you know, we're seeing the spoiler season stuff come, you know, now. I think like DM Armada has one coming soon. Tommy Fresh has one coming soon. I think Kiki has one. You know, I'm sitting there going, if we're going to see the majority of this stuff, is this just expansion slot and we're not going to see any L's before then? Are we not going to see?
I hope so. I hope. I
would love to just see like meat and potatoes, like signpost cards. I'd be cool with like if they show us more of the like CC build around Majestics for each hero.
Sure.
I'd be cool with that. But I really all I want is just give me sigils and expansion slot. Let me do everything else.
Yeah.
At the
I think that would just be so cool to sit down at that pre-release and just have somebody like at your table just be like, oh shit, look at this legendary, and then like everybody just swarm. Like, what is it? What's going on? Like, what's happening? Like,
Dude,
let me get a picture.
I am going to get my pre-release kit or whatever they give us. I'm going to go. I'm gonna like soundproof everything. I'm just gonna like hone in on that, and then I am going to religiously refresh my phone for spoilers. Like, I'm not gonna. I'm like, no, I don't want to talk to anyone. Don't want to crowd anyone.
Yep.
I just want it on my phone.
Yeah, what's coming my way? What's coming my way?
Yeah.
You know, it'll be a lot of fun in Tampa. I'm hoping that we get to meet a lot of cool people. I think there's some people even from overseas that are coming that I've seen. So it should be
Pudding Tam. He follows me on Twitter. It's my greatest accomplishment.
That doesn't mean you can follow him around at the event.
We're best friends.
BFFs.
We're basically at our combined record. We're like one of the best players in the world in a combined record.
Yeah.
If you put your elo and my elo together, we're unstoppable.
He is the only person I would give away my Katsu altar to, because I have a Katsu altar that I made for myself. If I met Pudding, I would be like, "May I give you this, sir?" But
please,
unfortunately, he's he's playing Zen. All right, he has to.
That's because he doesn't have the altar.
That's because he doesn't have.
I bet he'd change his mind if you gave him that altar.
I bet he'd change his mind if Zen LL'd a little faster. That came on. You know what? He came in second. I'm sorry, Pudding, but put some points on the board, damn it. Anyway,
let's get it on with already.
Yeah. All right. Well, this was fun.
It was a good time,
wasn't it? Wasn't it fun?
Hey, did you guys see the SCG promo?
The rune chant?
Yeah, the cold foil lightning themed rune chant. I'm a sucker.
I will also say
I buy from my LGS, baby.
Yeah, I buy from my LGS too, but also SCG because
I don't have that
the promos.
kind of money.
I will also say at Armory this week, I saw the cold foil Channel Mount Heroics and the rainbow foils, the entry kind of stuff.
Yes, the heartbeat. Is that what it is? Heartbeat, a candlehold, EA rainbow foil for the event.
Hold on, now I'm gonna have to get.
Is it the heartbeat of candlehold for the mat?
No, lightning form and earth forms are the entries. The extended art.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, the play mat is the sanctuary of Arya.
The
that's
play
for
mat's,
Tampa.
I thought that's what we were talking about.
No. Sorry, the skirmish season. Skirmish.
Oh, skirmish. Okay,
the skirmishing.
Okay, so for Tampa, I think it is the heartbeat of Candlehold.
Right.
It is because I was thinking Tampa. Okay.
The lightning form rainbow foil looks awesome. Earth form rainbow foil looks awesome. Blaze looks awesome.
It's just a nick for a playmat.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
I will say the Channel Mountain Heroic cold foils, I was not a fan of. Not a fan. The mountain just kind of looks a little too dark and blobby here in cold foil.
What the fuck are you doing? Don't get LSS mad at us. We like
He didn't give it. They got it in the mail. He just had it out ready for skirmish.
We don't like
we love all the promos are amazing.
We
They're
love
so
promos.
Good. Oh, sorry. In that case, yes. LSS has done no wrong, including the first strike decks. They are.
I'm
beautiful.
A huge skank for promos.
You know what? I think I am in disagreement with you. I think the first strike decks do exactly what they're supposed to do.
I know I'm in the minority of it. I know I'm in the minority of it.
I
know I'm in the minority of it, and that's okay.
But no, I will say, though, I did say, I think this was someone's rebuttal on Discord, not like on YouTube. But I was like, first strike decks, they're to like get children into Flesh and Blood. And then someone was like, Flesh and Blood is like 18 and up. And I was like, so? And they're like, you wouldn't sell cigarettes to kids or something. And I was like, yeah, but they do.
Like, you wouldn't download 30 to 50 feral hogs.
Yeah, but I was like, right, but like Flesh and Blood's not cigarettes. Like,
right. I mean, but to be fair, which do you think is more addictive to children, cigarettes or TCGs?
Just so you know, Tim Walls is texting me right now. I didn't really.
But I will say, I will be very much trying to get a playset of the lightning forms in EA because they're gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous in person. So, if you're not playing a skirmish, go play them just to get it.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then send
really
them
cool.
to me.
Yeah, and then mail them. I will put my address on the screen and send
Right
it
here.
there.
Please send it Don't put anything weird in the envelope, please. Just the lightning form.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I know we went on a tangent, but yeah, this is fun.
Okay, guys, let's cap it here, and I'm gonna go to bed. It's like 8 o'clock. It's 7:36, and I'm like,
I think I caught like 3 separate occasions of me and Craig both yawning at the same time.
It's been a busy week.
Very EP, you might say.
No.
EP
So
indeed.
Let's drop it. It's an hour. It's perfect timing.
All right.
Perfect. Right on the money.
Bye.
Bye, I love you.
And then we're gonna end session.